last time May decided to leave with Raven to join the World Serpent to try to protect Kiana from her degrading body. And after joining up with them, they went to go take out the next Herrscher, which was the Herrscher of Frost. After arriving on the scene, May and Raven were basically set up to take down the Herrscher of Frost, but they got stopped by the other operative, which was his name Owl? I think that might have been it. I can't remember his name, but he sabotaged them and saved the Herrscher of Frost because she was the person who saved him when the Herrscher of Void broke free, I think. I'm not sure, but now they're on the run. So our goal, assumedly, is to catch up with them and stop them from being on the run. But we'll see how well that works. So, let us continue. Smothering stiffness, pain, exhaustion, and powerlessness. He felt like a withered root buried in the ruined earth. There was no light in this suffocating agony. This is it. This is the end. He did not accept this. He tried to move his hands. His fingers felt only cold, sharp pain. Bits of dirt and mud fell onto his face. Having exhausted himself, the man accepted his hopeless reality and closed his eyes. It was at that very moment when he heard a soft digging sound. I hallucinating? The sound grew louder. His eyes opened up. Light shone through a tiny crack above him. Someone removed the heavy slab with a shout. I found one. I found a survivor. Oh, thank goodness. Hold on. I'll get you out of there at once. He saw a person who saved him. Her worried look was overtaken by a joyous relief. She removed more rocks and debris. The crack widened into a gap through which light poured onto his face. Help. His voice was weak, yet he found the strength to stretch out a trembling hand. It's all right. I'll save you. Don't give up. Grab my hand. I'll get you out of there. He could feel the warmth in her palm. Just a bit more. You can do it. He saw her smiling. Her beautiful face was highlighted by the sun and unfurled before him like a portrait painting. Thank you. The light grew stronger. His vision blurred as her smile began to warp and twist. The world fell silent. There was nothing left except for a call echoing in the far distance. Wake up! Please, wake up! Not now, please. Please don't die on me. Wake up! Memories faded and gave way to a stark reality. The first thing he saw was the Herrscher beside him. She was silent. Anna's face was visible beneath the veil. She was as beautiful as he had remembered. But the Herrscher was as innocent and confused as a newborn child. Her gaze was bereft of human reason. Anna. Don't worry. Don't you worry. I'll get you out of here. Please. Have faith in me. Yes. I'll get you out of this place. Alright. And that's where we begin. And apparently we're starting with Ciele. Or Rita. So probably Rita, not Ciele. No death and 25 hit combo. Let's get started. Of course. Coral Outskirts, the Immortal Blades Valkyrie squad just endured a powerful blizzard. What was that? Adjun, a low temperature blast erupted in Coral Central. Honkai levels are off the charts! The whole island is freezing over. This must be the Herrscher's doing. Is our squad leader alright? Well, what should we do, Adjun? Should we send our forces in to help the squad leader? Rita looked towards the city center and saw Honkai beasts hidden in the frozen mists. We have our orders. Master Thunderel told us to hold the line, and that is what we shall do. We must have faith in Master Thunderel and serve as her bulwark. Alright, let us begin. Immortal Blades, ready yourself. Roger! Alright. Oh god, crab. Giant enemy crab, no. Alert all units. Hide yourselves as soon as possible once you enter the targeted area. Sure, a lot of flyers around. And now I'm stuck in Rita's voice apparently, so I mean that's a thing I guess that's going on. And now you die. We have defeated every Honkai beast, Artisan. Good job, everyone! The blizzard subsided as soon as the Honkai beasts were vanquished. Rita looked towards the skyscrapers in the distance. Her anxiety was only too obvious. Master Thunderel. Wait, didn't we just defeat the Honkai beasts? Why is their ambient Honkai level still rising? Avatar surveyed the battlefield and quickly found her answer. Two approaching figures emerged from the retreating mist. They walked very slowly as though they were afraid of breaking the fragile ice beneath their feet and shatter it like the broken battlefield. Well then, Herrscher of Ice. What? Why did the Herrscher come to this place? Did something happen to our squad leader? Oxygen, what should we do? The Herrscher's presence threw a few Valkyries into panic, but most quickly rallied around Rita. They knew what must be done despite the odds. Valkyries, prepare for battle. We shall fight this Herrscher. Stand aside. Thunderel and Raiden may have failed. You won't stop us either. Apologies. I will not let any Herrscher through. Nonsense. Anna is not a Herrscher. She's a human. Do you agree, Anna? The Herrscher uttered an unintelligible and bestial growl. Rita gripped her weapon. The Immortal Blade Valkyries assumed their fighting formation. We are done talking. Well, as you wish. Your breath alone. You're alone now, save your breath. I'll stop you. I don't need their help. It's over. No. What? We're not done yet. Rita was succumbing to hypothermia. Her Argent Knight battlesuit fared poorly against the Herrscher of Ice. But oath and duty forbade Rita to retreat. She knew she was the final line of defense. We don't want to waste time on you. Stand aside before it's too late. You shall not pass. Rita's Godbane battlesuit worked at maximum capacity just to keep her on her feet. The response she received was a powerful, frigid current. Sorry. Is Rita dead? Meanwhile, downtown Coral. A red glow glimmered amidst the ruins of ice and rubble. May created an EM field to insulate her and Dunderell against the extreme cold. She reverted to her usual form as she carefully manipulated her powers to maintain the field. Are you alright, Dunderell? I'm fine. What about you? You don't look exactly the same. The Herrscher of Ice can't harm me. She has yet to master her powers. But Owl fled with the Herrscher after that blow. We must pursue them quickly. Her powers turn this place into a death zone approaching absolute zero. Follow me and I'll bring you out. Let's go. What form is this? I don't think I've seen this form of May before. Oh, hi. This is definitely a interesting version. This poor guy is never gonna hit the ground, I don't think. He seems to be quite stuck in the air. And when you have two S-rank Valkyries like this just fucking sending you into oblivion, it shouldn't be too much of a surprise, I guess. I'm not even helping anymore. This place should be safe enough. The two of you seem unharmed. The two of you seem unharmed. Raven landed quietly before them. Her face was ghastly pale, perhaps due to the toxin or the cold. Apologies. The sudden blast of extreme cold blocked my way and prevented me from giving you support. No matter. Are you getting better? I've already dealt with it. What about Owl and Herrscher? What happened out there? May summarize what happened in their prior engagement. I didn't expect that guy to have such a history. What are your plans? Our only option is to find them as quickly as possible. Finding them won't do any good. We're out of scepters of Duat required to capture the Herrscher. Blame Jackal for this. If she had prepared more of those scepters, the Herrscher would not be a problem. The Honkai and Coral is also blocking any outgoing signals. We should retreat and get in touch with Jackal. Retreat? No. There can be no retreat. We'll end up wasting too much time. The Honkai would continue to spread and claim more lives. And that's not the end of it. May stopped there. She and Raven gazed at each other in silence. Raven knew what May was about to say. A retreat would give the Herrscher time to escalate the war. A third party may get involved and they might deploy the Hyperion if the situation grows desperate. And when that happens, that special friend of hers would also enter the fray. No, retreat is not an option. What are your plans then? May thought for a while and quickly proposed her solution. Raven, I need you to salvage what's left of the scepters. Salvage? This plan of ours, it may very well work. Fine, I'll trust you for now. And I'll do whatever I can to stop the Herrscher in the meantime. Raven nodded. She turned around and disappeared into a silvery mist. Done talking. Let's go. We may have lost the Herrscher, but they will have to confront the Valkyries' defenses to escape Coral. To stop them, I must return to those defenses and join my Valkyries. Do not hesitate again this time, Raiden May. I won't. Alrighty then. The frost continued to creep beyond the heart of Coral and created an icy path in its wake. I can pick up traces of the Herrscher's powers here. They shouldn't be too far away. We must hurry up. The Valkyrie's defenses should be up ahead. Alright, now you can all... Ow. Excuse me? What keeps freezing us? It's quite rude, whatever it is. You're a big one, aren't you? Well, this should be no problem. And there we go. Are those Valkyries? Unconscious Valkyries were found at the end of the path. Though alive, they were no longer capable of fighting. A pale figure encased in a crust of ice stood out amongst the defeated Valkyries. Rita! Rita! Thunderell rushed forward and held her obdurate in her arms. Rita was still breathing, if only weakly. Go and track down that Herrscher, Raiden May. I will. May knew that what had to be done and turned around without a word. Behind her, the Holy Lance gave off the glow that engulfed the entire battlefield. Time to go kill a Herrscher, I guess. The dark tunnel seemed to go on forever. Owl felt heavier and slower with every step he took. Mechanical joints creaked as parts came loose and fell into the ground. But Owl fixed his gaze upon the distant exit. He knew he only needed to reach that place to end all of this. I'm close. His vision began to blur as lights trailed lines upon his clouded sight. His thoughts swam as the light illuminated past memories. Don't give up! I'll make this! You'll make this! I'm sure of it! Don't give up! You can do it! The girl repeated those lines as she struggled to support his weight with her body. But she could hardly hide her distressed looks. Those encouraging words were not only meant for him. T1 knew that the Valkyrie was also fighting her own fears. Are you afraid? What? Your hands are trembling. No, I'm just... What a terrible disaster. People turning into monsters. And strange beasts on the road. It's the Honkai. Honkai? Yeah, don't worry about it. I'm a Valkyrie of Skishel, and I'm bound by oath to protect you against the Honkai. I'm sorry. Most people probably won't understand what I just said. I thought this was something like a zombie apocalypse. Zombie? Yeah, walking putrid corpses that can't be killed with most conventional weapons. You can only defeat them by busting their heads or burning them completely. What's worse is if that they bite you, your body will start to change as well. You'll eventually lose your mind and turn into a zombie like them. And the very worst part is... Stop! Just stop already! Why are you telling me about zombies? That's the most disgusting thing I've ever heard! I see. You're afraid of zombies. No! I did not say I'm afraid of them! I'm just disgusted, that's all! It seems that Valkyries are just normal little girls after all. I'm Chen Taiwu. What's your name? Anna. Anna Skishkar. Hey, Cassie. Thank you, Anna.
どういたしまし
You're
て。
welcome. May trekked down the Herrscher's trail and arrived at a tunnel entrance, her mind deep in thought. She could not forget the sight of the defeated immortal blades, Valkyries, and Rita. A series of dull thumping noises interrupted her. She raised her head and saw Honkai beasts hatching in the tunnel. She knew she was on the right track. The Herrscher would be at the other side of this tunnel. Her blade was drawn. She knew there was only one thing that could be done.
逃げられないわよ。
Now we're back to Raiden, May. It appears. How are you doing today, Cassie? I'm doing alright. A lot better than I was last week, at least. Sparks flew as May slashed her way through like an enraged Oni. While lightning and thunder exploded all around her, May's mind was as tranquil as a still lake.
絶対にさせない。
I won't let this continue.
私が彼女
I
を
shall
守る。
protect them.
これが
For this is all I have left. A light erupted within the tunnel and sped to the other end before converging into a single point.
かかってきなさい。
Time to finish this, Herrscher of Ice! Huh. Looks like we get a break. Okay. The Malayan Honkai Eruption. Event C074. Malayan, Manila, the Philippines. Eruption 2015. May 22nd. 4 a.m. The 2015 Honkai eruption in Manila, capital of the Philippines, was the largest and most disastrous Honkai event in the Southeast Asia. Although the Manila eruption did not give birth to any Herrscher, it claimed over 2 million lives. About 3 million people suffered various degrees of Honkai infection, while secondary disasters that struck the city and the surrounding area rendered nearly 10 million people homeless. As cold wind blew across his face, he could finally see light at the end of the tunnel. Anna, we've made it through Skishul's defenses. Just go. Leave this place and live. A completely exhausted owl finally collapsed. He tried waving the Herrscher away, but she stared blankly like a snowflake, oblivious to everything around her. She then slowly extended her hand. The Herrscher picked up Owl, her movements clumsy yet surprisingly gentle. Anna, you... The Herrscher's touch was no longer freezing. Her face showed hints of emotion. Astonishment and joy filled his heart. He decided to let the Herrscher carry his weight and continued walking. The Herrscher of Ice stayed here for a while. She was just here. We all know that this is going to end in her death. Or at least, that's what my guess is. It's not going to end well. May's got a pretty hard vendetta.
栗からかなり
Ooh, okay. I mean, the ending of like every other chapter has been wonderful. Although I think the biggest one, the latest biggest one may have been Starfall that touched me. What was that? What is that?
行きましょう行動開始
Hi. A strange statue of ice stood in May's way. Upon touching, the statue disintegrated into sparkling ice crystals and gave off hushed whispers. It was the most unforgettable day of her life. Clad in her tidy uniform, she marched through the assembly and saluted them. It was the day that she had always prayed for. Her hard work paid off. Her dream was coming true. The girl took a deep breath and loudly recited,
私
I, Anna Shurak, do hereby offer my oath
私は天命に
of loyalty to Skishel and our overseer, and dedicate my life to our noble
私の
vision.
一生困難や痛み
I shall not fear any trepidation, nor pain, nor death.
私は災害で苦し
I
む
shall act as a beacon of hope to those in suffering,
ために戦います
and fight for those languishing in pain.
私は
I pledge all that I am and have to the human race, and shall do whatever it takes to destroy the Honkai. From this day forth, I, by my own volition, shall serve as a glorious Valkyrie of Skishel. The light shone again before fading away with the girl's voice.
行きましょう行動開始
She left a statue of memory behind. That light, it must be her memories. Oh hi, you're not memories. You're just a bunch of Honkai. I mean, that could be memories for her, honestly.
行動開始
Please do not freeze me.
行きましょう吠えなさい栗から
Well then,
記憶が壊
her
れ
memories are freezing solid. Her memories are freezing solid. A dark, overcast sky loomed over a Valkyrie running away from something. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. She repeated these words to herself as she desperately looked for a way out of the ruins. They were ambushed. The squad leader disappeared in an explosion, and she lost contact with the other squad members. She must head back to the rendezvous point, re-establish comlinks, and then get reinforcements. The constant static from her comm device was the only thing she could hear.
大事な任務
I can't stay here. My mission is too important. The Valkyrie then caught the sound of loose gravel hitting the ground. She stopped running and looked around. Her gaze fell upon a collapsed building. She waited for a few seconds, then there was nothing else. She was unsure if she was hearing things. So the young Valkyrie continued her desperate flight. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I really am. She repeated these words to herself as she left the ruins behind her. A thought then began to coalesce in her mind. Deserter. No, that's not true. She remembered the day when she became a Valkyrie. Like this devastated city, her oath and her ideals were reduced to ruin. She had never felt so helpless. She failed to save anyone, even when they were within reach. No! The Valkyrie stopped running. This isn't what I wanted! Though trembling, she turned around and rushed back to the ruins. Hmm? Stupid crabs. Well, she's going to get to the memory of her and Al soon, it looks like. And the question is she going to gain sentience like Kiana? And May, technically. I always forget that she's technically a Herrscher. This ice statue looks different. I'm sorry. I'm afraid this is the end of the road for us. I'm really sorry. We've made it this far, but I still failed to save you. Honkai beasts stomped through the rubble as the survivors hid behind a wall. There was no exit in sight. Just leave me here, Anna. You should still be able to escape on your own. No, I can't do that! None of us could escape if you take me with you. But I can't simply leave you here! Just because you're a Valkyrie? Because of an oath of duty you swore? Will you save me otherwise? Don't worry. I'll find a place to hide. Get your reinforcements first and save me later. We can bet on this. Bet on this? Yeah. If both of us survive this, you'll go on a date with me. Huh? I can't believe this. How could you make such stupid jokes? Can't you see what's happening? Hey, I'm just quoting the truth. You're the reason I'm still alive. You stayed by my side and told me not to give up. You're the reason I made it to this place. Meeting you in this disaster is the best thing that has ever happened in my life. I guess I'll follow you anywhere, whether you like it or not. I don't know. Don't take it too seriously. I was only fooling around. Huh? You were just fooling around? How could you? Well, at least I got things off of your mind for a while. I have no idea what's going on in your head. Don't you realize the situation we're in? Anna, I'm quite hard to kill. I still need to look for my family and take care of some business. I won't die here, trust me. Chen Taiwan, you're such a weird guy. Even then, I want you to have faith in me. We'll leave this place together. So I've decided to take your bet. Here you go. Who's this in the photo? My baby sister, Che Taiwan. She's the family I'm planning to look for. Though the two managed to escape to a Skishal base, they had to go on their separate ways. Chen Taiwu would be getting treatment at another city while Anna was to be redeployed to the war zone. She's still trapped in the city ruins. Please, Anna, help me look for her. And if it's possible, I'd like to tag along as well. Chen Taiwen? Someone knocked at the door. Anna lowered her gaze. I'm sorry, I have to go. It's alright. I can't be asking favors from you all the time. I'll go look for you, Anna. This necklace. What is it? I'm sorry. You can keep that necklace. Anna left, and he was dumbstruck by her sudden change. He did not know why she left him like that until much later. He heard a few conversations and learned that Anna became the leader of the new Snow Lotus squad. The old Snow Lotus squad was gone. Anna was the sole survivor. Yeah. Didn't the same thing happen to Himiko at some point? Al sensed something in the frozen garden. This is as far as I could go, Anna. The Herrscher stayed silent and continued to carry him as dark clouds roiled above the pristine Lie. Raiden Mei would catch up soon. I'm just slowing you down. Leave me here, and I'll try to stop her for you. Chen Tai-wen. Anna? Chen Tai-wu. Anna, you're finally back. This is wonderful. You did it. You really did it. Thank you for staying by my side. It doesn't matter, Anna. You finally defeated the Honkai. We can head back and show everyone that you're human again. We're finally done with running away. Let's go. I'll bring you to the World Serpent. No. You've done enough. Enough? What do you mean? Chen Taiwu. Please, let me die. Die? Stop fooling around, Anna. I won't let you. I can't fight it anymore. My memories are peeling away. This is all the time I have left. I've used the last bit of my strength. Anna, no. This can't be true. Chin, it's enough. You should let it end. At least let me die as a human. No, there must be some other way. Don't give up, Anna. I'm sorry. You have to let me go. Anna, no, where are you going? Al tried to take hold of her, but was trapped by growing ice. He realized she brought him here to bid farewell. He could only see her slowly drifting away until she completely disappeared into the falling snow. Goodbye, Chen Taiwu. It was snowing when Mei saw the Herrscher of Ice landing right before her. The Herrscher approached Mei slowly, quietly, and gently as though she'd expected this confrontation. Crystals of ice blossomed with every step she gave off, a faint glow before disappearing into thin air. Mei knew what the Herrscher wanted. Come, it's time to end this. Do it. I can't hold it back anymore. I'm sorry. The Herrscher of Ice fell onto a bed of flowers. She She did not resist. In fact, she did all she could to suppress the urge to fight back. Victory was almost at hand. May raised her blade. Stop! Ow! The cyborg leaped out of the blizzard and stood between the two. Owl ruined his own cyborg body to escape Anna's ice trap and could barely stay on his feet. Stand aside! I've said. You'll have to go through me first. I won't let anyone hurt her. Owl staggered towards May as his body blinked red like a ticking bomb. He was stopped dead in his tracks. Blood erupted from his chest and blossomed like scarlet flowers on the white snow. Well, that was somewhat expected. Ow. A clinging pain spread from his chest as fluids wept from the wound, and his world turned red. Damn this thing. Damn it all. The face he remembered slowly froze over. I guess this is the truth. The truth that nothing has ever changed since then. I'm sorry. I'm a Valkyrie of Skishul. I've sworn to defeat the Honkai. Treat this disaster as another accident in your life, Chen. Please forget me. Anna, wait. Anna! Why do you keep avoiding me? Why suppress your own feelings? I only wanted to stay with you. Why deny this simple wish? Crimson gave way to the darkness. A veil shrouded him and ushered him to the end of his life. The last thing he remembered was her cold, hard face. Can someone tell me? What did I do wrong? Death engulfed his world. There was neither light nor sound. He laid in the vast emptiness, adrift in the great ocean of nothing. He stared into the roiling yet pure darkness. He tried to understand it, yet his senses had already left him. So this is how death feels like. Then a spark appeared in this empty void. It sprouted, sank its roots, and began to grow. The spark soon became a glowing tree with twisted roots that nourished a massive crown. A crown of branches, twigs, and leaves that gave off light as well. Where am I? He then found himself in the middle of a scorched ruin. His returning senses felt the dust and heat. The place felt familiar. He looked around. He quickly realized why he remembered this place. Taiwo, where are you? Save me? Somebody? Help! Tenwin! Sis? For a moment, Al thought it was a near-death vision. Yet the heat, dust, and blood that flowed from the cracks were simply too real. Taiwan, I'm here. I'm right here, sis. He wanted to rush forward, but his body was trapped and refused to move. He tried to shout, but no voice left his mouth. Why are you showing me this? Give me a reason! The sound of footsteps caught his attention. There was someone else in the ruins. What? Anna? Anna Skashrik, the Valkyrie who saved him, stood within the light, just as he remembered her on that day. Save her! Save my sis! While he shouted voicelessly, the trapped girl extended a trembling hand. Please, sis, save me. Anna, go save her. Anna, what are you doing? Why won't you save her? He suddenly saw something unfamiliar in her eyes. The Valkyrie backed away slowly, turned around, and ran away. Anna? Anna, where are you going? Al was dumbstruck as the fleeing Anna disappeared into the darkness. Something alien woke within him. It reached out in its attempts to break free. No. This can't be. This can't be possible. You have a good night, Cassie. Sleep well. He began to feel afraid. He tried to mend the cracks in his heart, but the fractures only widened. Why? Why are you doing this, Anna? Why won't you save her? Wait. Could it be? No. His heart hardened and shattered like the rest of this world. Help, please. Don't leave me. Can anyone save me? Please save me. Her voice grew weaker. Her tiny hand struggled to hold on to something in the air. It grasped and struggled before falling onto the ground, never to be lifted again. His chest ruptured as a mass of glowing tendrils erupted from his body. The tendrils then wrapped themselves around Al, engulfing and dissolving him completely. Why? Why? Anna, why did... He roared with a nameless rage as the world twisted and cascaded around him. How could you? The maelstrom of chaos raged, and the human named Chen Taiwu perished. Owl. I just realized that my health is ridiculous? Holy crap. Has it always been that ridiculous? Lightning arcs coiled with frigid rhyme. The Herrschers fought each other, their powers threatening to tear the fabric of reality apart. Then it all ended when the blinding blast smashed through the vortex. It's finally over. The stricken Herrscher gave a scream louder than the thunderous cacophony. The blade pierced the ice, then went through her body, and left a wake of bloodied snow. And with that, the Herrscher collapsed onto a bed of flowers. May approached the Herrscher slowly. Her defeated foe remained unmoving. To capture the Herrscher, May dealt the blow carefully to avoid the enemy's core. Now, I'll just have to wait for Raven to get here. What? A sense of fatigue washed over her. She suddenly felt much heavier as her strength left her limbs. May quickly realized that it was not the fault of her body. Another had dealt the blow without her knowing.
これは
What is this?
重力
Can this be gravity?
袋 これは一体
That seems bad.
これは
What is this? The blackened sphere erupted in midair. The frozen ground trembled as deadly cracks began to spread. Giant spikes of ice burst forth from the ground before breaking free and flying straight towards the black hole. The entirety of coral was being ripped apart. Nah, I'm good. Don't have time to be dealing with your shit right now.
行きましょう
Ow? Please no. Mr. Chen Taiwu, we have the results of your physical exam. I'm sorry to inform you that your body has been severely infected due to the prolonged exposure to the Honkai. You have 2 more years if you're lucky. 2 more years. So, do you have any news about my sister? She's not on the list. We are still looking for survivors, but please don't be too optimistic. Is there anything else, Mr. Chen? Anna. No, there's nothing else. Anna, I want you to know that I've lost everything on that day. I don't know what I did to deserve this, or what I should do afterwards. Nothing else mattered. Everything became meaningless. I embarked upon a path of self-destruction. There was despair, helplessness, acceptance, and then longing. You became my last beacon of hope. I wanted to meet you again, start over. I began studying the Honkai schedule, and anything that might be linked to you. I chanced upon a way where I could see you in person. I joined the World Serpent and became an officer. And then I found you. Though it was my wish. I feared I was no longer fit to see you again. My body was no longer human. My life would be ending soon. So all I wanted was to see you from a distance without you knowing. And even that became impossible. Anna, I don't know if I should thank you or hate you, but you were the one who saved me from the stricken city. Anna, I have decided to return my life to you. Take it all, and assume my powers as well. We're now enemies of this world, but if there's a chance, Anna, live on for my sake. Okay, interesting. Coral Herrscher research, a summary. Redacted. The event has spun out of control. A second Herrscher appeared in Coral within 5 hours of the birth of the Herrscher of Ice. The second Herrscher, who has been identified as the former World Serpent officer codenamed Owl. This Herscher's birth triggered a powerful gravitational wave, eruption that destroyed 20 square kilometers of urbanized areas. Jeez, I cannot read today. We've deduced that this anomalous gravitational wave was generated by the Herrscher itself. Comparative data analysis found similarities between this Herrscher and the ninth Herrscher of the previous era, the Herrscher of Earth. We also decided to adopt this as the provisional codename of the current Herrscher. Both Herrschers of Earth and Ice are moving towards Central Coral for reasons unknown. We have been losing ground since the birth of the Herrscher of Earth. Frontline forces have taken heavy losses and could no longer provide field command with additional intel. The situation is now code red and requires immediate assistance from HQ. Reply. Message received. HQ has dispatched reinforcements to Coral. From the description provided, the new Herrscher appears to control gravity itself and has little to do with Earth, rocks, or minerals. Calling it the Herrscher of Earth is quite confusing. PE records shouldn't be copied verbatim. HQ has held an official meeting to discuss this matter. A decision has been made to rename it as the Herrscher of Stars. Reply. Message received. All future correspondence shall refer to this entity as the Herrscher of Stars. Oh boy. Skishel Base Camp, outskirts of Coral. Squad leader, bad news. We got a situation at Coral. Calm down and give me the updates. There's a sharp Honkai energy spike in the island. I've never seen such figures before. We've detected an anomalous gravity wave at the epicenter, and the wave is growing as we speak. And then there's something else. Another Herrscher energy signature has appeared amidst this chaos. Thundergirl rushed out of the tent to check what she just heard and saw a black sphere of massive rocks in the sky. She then realized that the rocks were pieces of buildings torn from the ground itself. Skishel Base Camp, outskirts of Coral. We have an emergency! A cataclysmic Honkai eruption took place in the central Coral 5 minutes ago. The eruption created an anomalous gravity wave that affected at least 1/3 of downtown area. The worst part is, this eruption was created by a massive monster. Scans and analysis of this entity revealed something unbelievable. We identified 2 powerful Honkai energy signatures within it. One matches the wave pattern of the Herrscher of Ice. The other belongs to a novel Herrscher class entity. In other words, that eruption gave birth to yet another Herrscher. We've used external comm links to convey the situation to Coral to HQ. The reply from HQ highlighted the Herscher's characteristics. Analysis of the gravitational wave revealed power similar to the 9th Herrscher of the previous era. A monster consisting of 2 fused Herschers. That's right. Coral's now facing a Honkai event of the highest severity. HQ is mobilizing all the forces it can. The Overseer wants us to withdraw and rendezvous with the main forces and avoid unnecessary casualties. Understood. Our frontline forces are no longer fit for battle, given the losses we've taken. Avatar, I'm giving you command. Get everyone out of here. What? What about you, squad leader? I'll try to distract that monster and gather as much intel as I can. But that's dangerous. It's too risky. The situation is already out of control, Avatar. Things will only get worse as time goes by. Inaction is the riskiest option to take. But with Deputy Rita wounded, if you got yourself... Don't worry, Avatar. I'll leave Rita to your care. Understood. Be careful out there, squad leader. Well, here we go. This doesn't look good for Dunderell, that's for damn sure. Well, that went quickly. Meanwhile, downtown Coral. How did this happen? May stood in the streets and gazed upon the broken skies. Chunks of concrete ripped up from the ground. Chunks of concrete ripped up from the ground orbited the remains of the galactic stairway. And all I did was leave you for a bit. What did you do this time? She landed softly beside her. Raven. I've heard about this from Skishel's comms channel. I can probably guess the cause. Here, you told me to get these. Raven held a small box with the black and gold striped encrusted in layers of frost. The situation has changed. We have the scepters of Duat, but I don't know if you can still make them work. Do tell me about this plan of yours. May took the scepters of Duat from Raven. She thought about Owl, his betrayal, his escape, the pursuit, everything else that happened ever since. May gave a slight frown as the scepters cracked slightly before giving off a red glow. Electromagnetic fields. I knew it. The scepters of use EM fields to disrupt the link between Herrscher's core and the imaginary space. Jackal didn't give any details, but I've experienced its powers and memorized the EM patterns that it created. The red glow from the device spread like blood that slowly flowed into her palm, her skin, and her entire body. And you want to use your powers of thunder to do the same thing? Yes. We still have a chance. I can duplicate the scepter's effects. In fact, I can do it with greater power. Yeah, but you'll be facing a monster consisting of 2 fused Herrschers. You must overwhelm it on its turf and take its cores. You have 1 shot. No one can save you if you fail. Yeah, that's what I must do. And I'll succeed no matter what the cost. If that's the case, do allow me to offer you assistance. Dunderell. Well, here we go. Let's see if we can actually stop this behemoth. If that's the case, do allow me to offer you assistance. Thunderel? Honkai intensity in Coral is now twice that of an eruption event. Numbers are still rising as we speak. That monster will only get stronger. We must act quickly. Help me get close to the cores, Thunderel. I have a way to defeat this thing. Raven, you should retreat to a safe location. Ugh. I don't like this at all, but I'm afraid I can't help you in my current state. I'll be wishing you the best of luck in any case. Got it. Stay away from the little gravitational cores. Not a problem. Hello, unknown foe. Goodbye, unknown foe. Alright. Well, those wave of Honkai weren't too busy. Snow, pure as a blooming flower, yet dark like the deepest space, wafted at the foot of the galactic stairway. The Herrscher was silent, as though it was a puppet caged in a nascent bud. Let's go. We only have one chance to do this, right? Alright, let's go. While the Valkyrie and Herrscher advanced, the Black Nova hurtled to the earth. The gravitic sphere instantly disintegrated upon hitting the ground and tore the heaven and earth apart. A blinding flash engulfed the entirety of Coral. Hello, Chaos Beast. Excuse me, that was rude. Hello? Oh. Watch out! The space elevator is collapsing! No, you don't. Time for you to be put down. Alright, there shouldn't be much more left. Yep. Here we are. Herrscher powers engulfing the entity of Coral.
吠えなさい栗から
Only a little bit more.
行きましょう
Alright, this should be the final damage that's necessary to finish her off. Well, that was wrong. She kind of pulled out some more damage out of nowhere. But, there we go. Where am I? Owl? Congratulations, Raiden. You've won. It's over. Yes. It has ended. All I wanted was to see her again. Tell her what I felt about her. Is that wrong? I don't know. I'm looking for the answer to that question as well. Do you? And I hope you don't end up like us. I'm sorry. Why apologize? We're Herrschers, monsters that must be destroyed. You did what you must. It doesn't really matter anymore. Fate played a joke on Anna and me. Perhaps my emotions left me when I became a Herrscher. I don't even feel sad. Just end this. The blade fell. All went silent. I can't move. Well, at least they died together, I guess. Herrscher redacted event at Coral. An investigation report. Warning. Access limited only to research personnel with adequate clearance. ID security code Supervisor Dr. Frontline Honkai R&D team. Coral. 1. A report on the Herrscher fusion event at Coral. Date 2017. Birth of the Herrscher of Ice. Birth of the Herrscher of Stars. Anomalous gravitational wave eruption in the center of Coral. First confirmed visuals of the fused Herrschers. death of the fused Herrschers. 2. Analysis of the Herrscher fusion event at Coral. Redacted. Summary. The two Herrscher cores generated powerful resonating frequencies upon contact, fusing their powers and creating a novel individual Herrscher class entity. Further investigations revealed that the Herrscher of Ice and Herrscher of Stars had prior contact while they were still human. How this contact may have affected the fusion event requires further research. 3. Conclusions. The Coral event was a major setback in our efforts to study and understand the Honkai. The fickle nature of Honkai and recently observed anomalies only confounded established knowledge about this phenomenon. We speculate this event to trigger mass anxiety within the academia and demoralize large segments of our organization. If left unchecked, such influence may have lethal consequences. We hope the leadership takes notice of this and enact preventative measures ASAP. Alright. The storm blew over, and the sun shone upon the land. Skishal relief forces assembled in the gentle sea breeze. May stood on the shattered breakwaters. The preposterous island state of Coral was now in desolate ruin. The waves seemed to carry the souls of the deceased and remains of civilization to where they belong. This incident will be regarded in history as a disaster almost too terrible to behold. The two cores are still alive. You did it. You're one step closer to your goal. Why are you so quiet? Are you expecting me to applaud you for such a great feat? Cheer up. It's your victory. I don't think I can call this a victory. May looked at the mercenary. Raven ignored her and tinkered with the third divine key she salvaged. Both of them remained silent for a long while until Raven finally raised her head. You probably can't accept how things turned out. I certainly couldn't. I don't think anyone could. But this was, is, and will always be the way the world works. She stood up and gave May a gentle pat. The two looked to the sun, sinking into the horizon. Night would soon approach. Be strong. Don't you have someone to protect? A brief moment of weakness may cost you dearly. And I suppose you feel the same when it comes to those children of yours. I'll not say anything to that. I suppose it's time for us to leave. Just go and visit Al before that. Raven said as she pointed to the beach in the distance. Skishal Valkyries built a tomb for him, Inanna. She just came back from there. He's an evil traitor. The World Serpent doesn't forgive that. And so he would be forgotten. We would be the only ones to remember him. The sun glowed red as it slowly sank. May arrived at the beach. A Valkyrie with flowing blonde hair took her attention. Dunderel? Though she turned into a Herrscher, Anna remained a glorious Valkyrie until the very end of her life. She fulfilled her duty and the time came for her to rest. Dunderel gave a salute and mourned the young Valkyrie. Is that her necklace? Yes. She wore it all the time. It was very dear to her. May took out another similar necklace from her pocket. She acquired it when she seized the Herrscher's core. Then I guess this belongs to her as well. May pieced the two necklaces together and placed them on the headstone. The combined necklaces basked in the setting sun and gave it a brilliant azure glow. It seemed like a beacon of lighting. Beacon lighting the way for those caught in the world between life and death. May gazed upon the headstone silently while Dunderell turned around and left. The two parted ways as the sun shone for the last time on that day. A letter from Anna. Bianca. I hope this finds you well. I've joined the Snow Lotus squad in the Philippines and have been staying at the Manila garrison since then. This place is really warm and wet. I wasn't used to it at first, but I guess time does change things. This place, its people, and the culture are really different compared to what I experienced in Europe. I really hope I can invite you here. Though I haven't seen you for a while, I've been hearing all about your deeds and valor through the official broadcast. I'm really impressed how you remain so dedicated to your goal. I've always remembered you as this rising star back in our time at the HQ. Everybody loves being around you and talk about you, your ingenuity, skills, and talent. But I know you're driven by your sense of duty. You're strong because you spend a great deal more time training than any of us. This is the first time I've told anyone about this, Bianca. I started thinking a lot about a lot of other things after leaving HQ. I realized that that a Valkyrie's duty isn't as innocent or wonderful as we had thought. Nevertheless, I'm proud to be a Valkyrie. I will continue to train hard. One day will come when I'm just as good as you and we'll be able to fight side by side. Oops, sorry. That actually sounded more like a challenge. Please pay no mind to that. I'm not really good at expressing myself. Just know that I'm always your biggest fan. And good luck and Godspeed. Please also send my regards to Rita as well. I've sent a small gift to her for her upcoming birthday. I pray she likes it. Anna Skishik. February 27th, 2015. You did well. This was the only reply from the sire of the world serpent after the debriefing. You shall return. Tell me, did you predict that I would use my Herrscher powers to seize and suppress the cores? You realized that solution on your own. Did you ever consider what might happen if I were to fail? You will only succeed. I want an explanation. He was silent for only a brief moment. This eruption event gave birth to two Herrschers that fused together as one. One consumed the core and the other became a far stronger entity. You did something similar. You conquered Herrscher powers. What? Really? What's going on? The comm links are down. This isn't signal interference. We have an emergency. Something happened to the base.
ましょう。私がわからないのですか。キアナ、私は全てを変えます。